So we keep meeting like this. In the digital download, printing, altering, sizing saga. I'll tell you how this started. I'll show you because it's a really good example, I think. I'm going to go to a kit I bought, a digital kit that I bought last fall. This was a gorgeous kit by SS Digital Studio on Etsy. Just so many beautiful bits and pieces. So the colors were fantastic, and I just used this one on a denim journal. So cute. It doesn't have to be fall. This one I used on a red gingham journal. So again, there's so many different ways to use the journal. Even though I used this on journals, Thanksgiving and fall journals last year, I just now, a year later, I'm still using this kit. And the reason I liked it so much is because of the vintage. It's just so, it's already grunged up and it's already old, and it's just yummy and wonderful. And it had, let's open the tags too. And this is numbers 26 through 31. There's 25 other pieces to this kit. It's beautiful. Look at these colors. So pretty and rich and just yummy. But then there's this. Can you see the problem here between all of this stuff? Let me back up to between the vintage. Everything here is vintage, and the fussy cuts are not. Now I know you cut out fussy cuts, you cut all the white paper off, but being they're not on this grungy, vintagey background, they're bright. They're still quite bright. Even if you cut every single bit of the white paper off, the details here are still bright. This is all way brighter than anything else in the kit. I think it was probably just an oversight because everything else is done to the nines, and this is not a complaint about this kit. I love this kit. But I needed to fix it, to find a workaround. So let's close these other ones out. If you're not familiar with Canva, I'm a huge fan of Canva, and they have a free option that I used for quite some time. Highly recommend it. It is so much fun to play with. If you make flyers or business cards or Instagram posts or Facebook posts, you can do that on Canva. It's as easy as drop and drag. I'm not an affiliate. I'm just a huge fan of Canva. So what I did is I went to Canva, because I go to Canva for everything, and it's Canva. It's super easy to use, and we'll see that here. I'm going to create a design, and they have all kinds of built-in sizes and templates, and I put in flyer, but I want it landscape because that's how it's set up, and that automatically sets it up for an 11 by 8.5 inch project. So I have my new blank project. Now if you want to make a flyer, there's a gajillion templates, different results. You can search for different styles and whatnot. That's another tutorial for another day. If you want a tutorial on Canva, let me know in the comments below and I'll show that to you. I'm going to pull it out of that folder and put it on my desktop so that I can see it easier. So now I have the actual picture, not a preview of it. I'm going to drag it here from my desktop, and I'm just going to drag it into Canva. That's all I have to do is drag it to your project sheet. Now what I'm doing here, this is a digital kit that I purchased for my personal use from Etsy. It had 31 gorgeous pages in it, one of which is too bright for me. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to make this picture fit this page. And Canva's beautiful. It's drag and drop and super intuitive, and it sizes everything beautifully. You see, nothing got distorted, nothing got fuzzy. That's in part because it was created properly by the Etsy creator. The person who designed it did it well, so nothing got jacked up because I made it to the size. It's made to be this size. It's made to be printed on 11 by 8.5 inch paper. So what I did is I went to photos. Over here, you have all these tools at your disposal. I went to photos and I searched for linen paper, I think. It was a while ago. We may have to play around a little bit. And I found something I thought was kind of vintagey. And I pulled that over here. Now you could see it is linen-y. It's got all kinds of texture in it and little specks and flakes and whatnot, and it now is completely covered up my photo. Then what I did, they have this transparency tool right here. It's at 100%. I just took it way down. Or did it take away my picture? It took away my picture. Well, no wonder it didn't work. Once in a while it does that. That's fine. We just go over to uploads and put our picture back. Canva, thank you very much. So for whatever reason, it didn't like doing it the way I was doing it. So we just keep playing around. It will work. It's worked before and now it's worked. So I have my original picture here. Again, this is the part of the kit that I purchased. I've pulled the picture, the JPEG, out of its folder to my desktop, dragged it into Canva, and dropped it on a new design, a new project. I went to photos and I searched for linen paper, and I liked this top one. It's yellowy, agey, vintagey. That's too much, I think. That's way too dark. Again, let's look at this one at full. We're going to take this one down, and you could play with this. You're not out anything. You could play with this all day long. I'm going to change this transparency and see what my critters look like under that. See how it vintaged it right up? It took it from, wow, holy brightness, to that's what I'm talking about. Now let's try this one, because maybe that one's better. And we're going to take that down a little bit. I almost like this one better. It seems to enhance it more. So all I have to do to get rid of that, it's all highlighted right here. See, that's the picture that's lit up. I'm just going to delete it. Now I've got this one. It was vertical, so all I'm going to do is use this little spinner tool and spin it around so that it's laying right. Drag it over. I want to make my squirrel bigger. Apparently I got a little ahead of Canva and it didn't like that. So now this one's lit up. I'm going to make that bigger, so it's essentially an overlay or a bit of a filter. So I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's got all this beautiful texture now. So this sign, instead of being smooth and bright and new and cartoony, now it looks like it was printed on an old tablecloth or an old placemat. Now it's got that one more layer of just yumminess. Look how beautiful that is. That's way better than the one I did last year. And again, I think it was just an oversight on the designer's part with this one, because every other page is done to the nines. Let's look at the squirrel without the overlay and with the overlay. I just think that's so much better, especially because of how all the other pages of the kit look. So there. So I have altered my digital kit that I purchased. Now, I'm not going to turn around and sell this on Etsy. That's not playing fair at all. I'm just taking a tool that I purchased and making it work better for my project. That's all I've done. I'm not going to sell this to anybody. I'm not turning around. It's not a copyright thing. It's no different than me gluing tissue over it in my studio. That's all I've done here. When you have your design where you want it, I'm going to call this Vintaged Squirrel. I'm not going to print flyers. I'm going to download. I just need to download a PDF print. There's a whole bunch of different things that you can do. It suggests what's best for your project. Canva is amazing. So I'm going to go with that. It said PDF print. I'm going to go with that. And I'm going to download it. I can also download it. It was originally a JPEG, so I'm going to make it a JPEG. Thank you very much. I'm going to download my JPEG too. So now I have both a PDF version and a JPEG version. I'll show you. We'll go to downloads. We'll open the picture, and we'll open the PDF, and we'll put them side by side. The PDF looks a little bit richer, lots more color in that pumpkin versus the JPEG. Since we're playing this game, let's download it. And there's no limit on how many times you can download it. I can't tell you. I use Canva to do all my thumbnails for my YouTube channel. And I cannot tell you how many times I've downloaded it and then found a mistake. Downloaded it again and changed the background and downloaded again. There's no limit to downloading it. PNG is a higher quality picture. So I'm going to download it as a PNG as well, and we can compare all three. Minimize that. So we've got the JPEG and the PDF and the PNG. Again, the PDF is the better of the three, and it's very subtle, so you probably might not be able to see. You can certainly see it in this pumpkin. Try and make them all the same size so that we're comparing apples to apples or pumpkins to pumpkins. So they're all about the same size. The PDF is way richer than the other two, but I would say PDF and then PNG and then JPEG as far as quality. Does it matter to you? Who cares as long as it prints out for you? I would print the PDF because it's the best color and I can print it borderless. Again, these make me crazy. What a waste of paper and time. Yeah, even in a fussy cut. Because if I do it borderless and make sure that entire paper is filled, this stuff that I trim off when I fussy cut, I can use that textured, beautiful paper that's already full of ink and interest in my collages, in my scraps, in my clusters, right? So absolutely, anytime you can, get rid of those stupid borders. What a waste of paper and time, energy, and frustration, because sometimes it doesn't work out very well. I'm not going to print it because I've used this several times. I have so many cutout squirrels, I can't even tell you. Mushrooms, beautiful. Everybody loves mushrooms these days. All right, so there's that. And I'm going to close out my squirrel. And Oh, by the way, it saves everything for you automatically. And so did I have to save anything? I didn't. I knew it was done. As soon as you download it, or as soon as you stop working on it for a second, it automatically saves. It automatically saves. It automatically saves. If you download, let me just say this this was a hard lesson for me to learn, because I was doing a project that I had a whole bunch of different versions of. I didn't download it and I didn't save it as a new one. And so I did 10 of them before I realized I was still working on the same project, changing the same project instead of making 10 different ones. So just beware. When you download it, it saves. If you want to do something different, start a new design. Even if it's very similar, start a new design, make a copy. That's another tutorial, but holy Hannah, that was a hard lesson. I was so mad because it was 10 in. I had to start over and do all the 9 over again. Anyway,